Okay, hi everybody. So I am Amanda Herr. I'm the CEO of Amanda Herr Coaching, and this is Ask Amanda. We're going to do this every Wednesday around 12 o'clock, noon Eastern time. And I'm going to answer some questions that I've gotten probably over the last week or recently so that people can get the information that they need in order to move their businesses forward. So I have a couple of really base questions that I'm going to answer today, but if you have questions that I don't mention, please feel free to put them in the comments because I am going to be checking the comments and I'm happy to answer them live in real time. If you come up with a question later on, you can always email me at amandahercoaching.com. And as you can see below, her has two R's in it. So it's Amanda at amandahercoaching.com. So the first question, and I get this a lot, so I want to kind of address it and talk about basically the overarching idea of what coaching is. So I'm asked a lot of times, Amanda, what do you do? And, I really have to take a step back because I think I need to explain coaching as a whole, and then I can explain what I do. So, coaching is actually something that is different than mentoring. So, people get coaching and mentoring different or are confused. Basically, coaching is where, I or another coach would actually help someone unveil a truth that they already know, something that they inherently know, but they maybe haven't really kind of unleashed for themselves or they haven't really brought to the forefront for themselves. We ask a lot of questions of our clients and we help them get to the answers and to the vision and to the goals that they want to get to through those questions and through tools and exercises that we work with them on. So there are coaches for various different things. So there's life coaches who really focus on exactly what that's called, life. So like if you're having issues in relationship or whatever that might be, they focus on life coaching. And also coaching, really the difference between life coaching and therapy is really where the life coach will actually focus on your future. They may touch on your past as to how that actually affects what you're doing now and what affects your future, but they don't stay in the past, where a therapist may spend a little bit more time there. I am not a life coach, though. I am actually a business coach, and I specialize in working with women entrepreneurs in order for them to catapult their businesses forward and reach their goals in business. So that's why the tagline in my company is Amanda Herr Coaching for Women Who Mean Business. So, how I do that is by coaching, yes, but also mentoring. So, mentor is someone who may give you advice. So, coaches don't give you advice. Mentors do give you advice, and sometimes they'll also tell you basically what to do. I spend most of my time coaching, but I also work on mentoring as well. So for me, I work with my clients on if they're in corporate America and they're looking to leave corporate America, or they've been laid off, or they're retired and they want to start their own business. I help them do that. And then I pour gasoline on it with them and watch it just grow. But I also focus on working with entrepreneurs who are already in business and they feel like they want to take it to the next level, or maybe they're kind of treading water, but we work together in order to get that kind of going in a lot more quick pace. Okay. So, and I use my, 30 plus years of advertising and marketing as well as digital marketing experience in order to help them do that. So my clients actually get a mixture. They get coaching, they get mentoring, but they're also getting digital marketing expertise or marketing and advertising expertise from me because my background, I do have a deep background in advertising as a former vice president of advertising sales at CNN, and also owning my own digital marketing company and being a digital marketing professor. So those are things that come into play for for my clients. So the question is, Amanda, what do you do? That is what I do. I am a coach and a mentor for women entrepreneurs. That does not mean, I do have clients that are in various stages of their career and I help them with that. I do help women in leadership roles. And I also empower women who are, maybe leaving or have been laid off and they want a new job. Those are things that I do. But my core business is focused on women who are either looking to create their own business or who already have their business, and we pour some gasoline on that. So I love all of it though. And yes, I do work with pretty much just women because I feel that that is an underserved market and that I can understand what they're going through a little bit more than I can when it's a male. That doesn't mean that I can't empower or help men, but I do focus specifically on women because I feel like I can be of the most service to that group. So it's a little rundown of what coaching is and what I actually do as well. So I also, the second thing that I was asked and comes up a lot is, Amanda, I'm really burnt out. I'm 40 plus years old. I'm in my position. Should I just ride this thing out till I'm 65? What should I do? I can't answer that for you. So spoiler alert, I'm not going to answer that for you. But what I am going to do is we're going to work together to find out what the best answer is for you. And, both sides of the coin. If you decide to stay, how to make that work the best way for you. If you decide to leave and start your own business, how to make that work for you. If you decide to do a side hustle, my job, my mission is to make sure that whatever your success can look like for you, whatever you think your vision of success is, that you get to do that you get to have that in your lifetime, because life is too short. So that's how I answer that question. So rather than just saying, I don't know, I say, let's find out what's the best for you. And we do that through a couple of different coaching processes. So when you are wondering, what is best for you, generally I work with my clients in that respect in what's called Career Next. So it's a platform where I use my next framework in order to walk you through the process of deciding what's best for you and then creating actually what's best for you. So we don't stop at deciding, we actually help you create it and then walk into it, and I walk alongside you the entire time. Then that's basically how we do that. And then when you do have your own business and you're trying to kind of like pour that gasoline on it and catapult yourself to the next level, we work on Business Next. And Business Next is the next framework in a different manner, and we walk through that, and that's about 6 sessions, and we really get the party started, or we, for lack of a better term, goose your business into the next level, or we take it to where you want to go. So whether that is, we need to create some marketing strategies, you need to hire more team, I can help you with business plan, whatever that might be. I help you with that. And because I've created 2 really strong businesses on my own and run them for the past decade, I know what works and what doesn't work. And I have made enough lefts when I should have gone right that I can help you not do the lefts. That's kind of my goal. And I am actually launching my next accelerator next. And that's going to be coming up actually in September. So Accelerator Next, I'm thinking about maybe doing one over the summer, but I'm not sure. I might do a very small accelerator next in the summer, and then the larger one I may launch in September. But Accelerator Next is 90 days of going for it. 90 days of not just sitting back and saying, well, I'm going to, get to that when school starts for my kids. 90 days is like, let's pour that on. And so I am thinking about doing a very, very small one, which is 4 participants. So I would have 4 people in Accelerator Next over the summer. And then in September, I am launching a larger one that I'm capping it actually at 8 participants in September. So it's a very exclusive program. And the reason for that is it's extremely high touch and like I'm in it, with you. So I can only do so many people at one time. And so that's kind of how that works. And let's see, what are some of the other questions that have been sent in? This is one of my favorite ones. Somebody asked me, what is the most difficult part of being an entrepreneur? And I have a feeling that this is kind of a sniffing around of trying to figure out if they want to or not. But the most difficult part of being an entrepreneur, and this is honestly, it is the dips. So I can't remember who wrote this book, but it's called The Dip. Well, I have it here somewhere. But the dips, here we go, Seth Godin. So Seth Godin wrote this book, and it's a great book, but it talks about the highs and the lows of entrepreneurship. Is that the people who are successful as entrepreneurs are those people who can, they're riding along. Where am I this way? Riding along, but then they get into a dip, and we all get into a dip. Okay. You do this in your regular corporate career as well. But as an entrepreneur, and especially if you're a solopreneur like myself, meaning a one-man show that has contract workers that work for them, you get this dip area, and it's those people that can get themselves out of that are successful. Okay. I would venture to guess, and I don't know the percentages, but most of entrepreneurs who have left in their first 2 years are going to get here and then stay here and then go back to wherever they came from and not get to this part. All right. And so the hardest part of being an entrepreneur is getting over here, getting out of that dip, and kind of like being on your own. So I'm a solopreneur. I have contract workers that work for me, but on a day-to-day basis, a lot of times I'm on my own in my home office. So how do I get out of that dip? How did I, for the past 10 years, get out of the dip? And how I got out of the dip is I decided to open up conversation, be part of community, find my, I hate the word tribe, but find my people, right? That are also entrepreneurs and, in the same type of situations that I'm in or have been there and can also work with me and talk me through it, because they're going to go in a dip and I'm going to talk them through it. When I get in my dip, they talk me through it. I have made some of the best relationships since I've been in business on my own. And they're real relationships where we talk real. There's no, I don't know if I can swear on a live stream, but no BS, right? And I have gone so much further holding the hands of others than I could have on my own. So it helps you get out of the dip. Another thing that helps you get out of the dip is learning something new about what you're interested in and what your business is about, or looking back at a case study, or coming up with a new product, or just looking forward and giving yourself grace, because knowing that everyone is going to go through that is helpful. So I work with my clients a lot when they're in the dip. So I always talk a lot about how I want to help people, like if they're leaving corporate and starting their own business, I want to help them to stay gone. Or I want to help entrepreneurs who are feeling burnt out and not sure if they want to continue. I want them to reignite their passion. If someone has really gone to a point in their business where they used to love it, and now they're burnt out and they're thinking, did I do the right thing? I want them to remember why they started in the first place and love it again. So I'm here, to tell you that the dip happens. That's the biggest problem. The dip, it's mindset. And that the dip does go away. And if you can get out of the dip, you can be very, very successful. So I'm going to check and see if I have any comments or questions before I go on to the next one. Okay, no. Okay. Hi, Nancy. It's good to see you. Okay, so I have one last question that I have been asked. And again, if you have a question for me, you can always comment underneath of this on the replay, or you can send it to me at amandahercoaching.com. And the next question I have is marketing. So, okay, many times I work with clients who I work with a lot of solopreneurs. So a lot of people who are on their own doing their thing with contract workers. I work with a lot of other coaches. I work with women who are running creative houses, things like that. So I get a lot of my website does nothing for me. So I don't do anything on my website. I don't know how to get leads. How do you get leads? My business is stagnant. I don't know how to market. And I'll ask them who their target audience is. And the answer I get is, well, everybody can use my service. That, while we all want to sell our widgets and our services to everyone, we do not have the money or the time or the consistency to market to everyone. You really need to understand who you're talking to and stay in that lane. So I call my person Betty. I know how old Betty is. I know what Betty does. I know what, how Betty likes to think. I know Betty's fears. I know Betty's, hopes and aspirations. But I'm still learning about Betty because Betty she's a living, breathing person. I was going to call her a thing, person. But whenever I'm talking or whenever I'm marketing, I'm marketing to Betty. She's a real person to me. And I'm talking to her. So, hi, Betty. But you need to understand that first. Then you need to start to think about, what does Betty need? What does Betty want? Where is Betty? Where should I be? So a really good example of what happens is everyone tells you should be on TikTok. Good God. Everybody tells you that you should be on Instagram. They tell you should be on Facebook. They tell you should be on Snapchat. They tell you that you should be on YouTube. They tell you that you should be on LinkedIn. And you're like, my God, I don't have all those hours in the day. How do I do all of that? And how do I do it well? One thing that's terrible is when you don't do it well, but you're just there. Well, if Betty, for me, is not there, I'm not going to be there, right? If Betty is not on TikTok, I ain't going on TikTok. If Betty's not on Instagram, I ain't going on Instagram. Now she is, but right? So it's figuring out where Betty is and being there when Betty needs me. And that's 101. Okay. And then it's talking, how do I speak with Betty? So if you're going to do ads, is Betty on Facebook? And if she's on Facebook, is she really going to be thinking about what your product or service is? Is that the best place to reach Betty? Or does Betty spend more time on LinkedIn? And if she's spending more time on LinkedIn and she's thinking about things that she might need for her business or your service or product there, and that's the better place, and she's spending time in the zone there, maybe you can spend more time on LinkedIn. And guess what? LinkedIn ads suck. So you don't even have to do a LinkedIn ad. All you need to do is make sure you're in the right groups, you're posting the right way, you're getting engagement, you're using the right hashtags, and Betty's going to find you and Betty's going to see you. And you don't have to spend dime one. It's just more of a time thing. But it's different for every business. It's different for every service. It's different for every product. And so when you come to me and you say, Amanda, I want to hire you to help me catapult my business to the next level, I'm going to say, awesome. And the first thing that we're going to do is I'm going to sit with you and do a deep dive into your business and ask you what your goals are for your business. And then we're going to create a playbook or a roadmap to get you there. And then we're going to get you there. But we're going to do it from a holistic manner. I don't put a Band-Aid on whatever's wrong. We figure out where it is, what that foundational issue is, and we fix it. And then we pour some gasoline on that business. And that's what I love to do. And that's why I do it. So those are the questions that I'm going to answer for today. I really would love more questions for next week on Wednesday. So So again, Amanda at amandahercoaching.com. Her has the 2 R's. And also, I just want to let you know, I am doing a webinar for those people who are looking to leave corporate America and start their own businesses. So this is, Betty in her infancy. And that's going to be on Tuesday at 12 o'clock, and it's on Zoom. And you can sign up if you just go to my, I think if you go to my Instagram, actually, I'll put in the comments below. I'll put the URL for signing up for that. And you're going to get a free checklist of how to start your own business when you actually come in. And you can actually, if you attend live, you could possibly get my startup planning system for free. So FYI. I also have a podcast that comes out every Wednesday. So if you're interested in that, you can listen to Career Next on any of the popular podcast platforms. And I am here again to actually work with you. So if you DM me, I am DMing you back, not a bot. So I'm not going to tell you to put a word in the comments and then you'll get something. I want you to actually talk to me because I actually want to talk to you. All right. I hope you have a great week. And if I don't see you beforehand, I will see you next Wednesday, same time, same place. Bye, guys.